राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Are you recording this story?
Yes, start.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Can we devotees get from a little ahead?
Perfect.
There's no space.
Yeah, this is now good.
So it's my great pleasure and privilege to be at the house of His Grace Nikunja Ras Prabhu and Shyama Rasika Mataji. They have kindly invited all the devotees and me and the blessings of His Grace Lakshmana Prabhu, Sridhar Prabhupada disciple, that we can share about Dashara today. And that was what Prabhuji requested, that please speak about the upcoming festival, Dashara. And celebrations, festivals, people love. Even in temples, when there are festivals, then people tend to go there. In Mahabharata, there's a short story that Arjuna was called for many festivals, but Bhima was only called for wherever there are fights. There is an argument, there is some kind of thing, Bhima was called. Wherever there was, say, a festival, then Arjuna was called. Why? Because Arjuna was very good at singing. Arjuna was very good at dancing. And Arjuna was very good at playing instruments. So all three, singing, dancing, playing instruments. So he was the favorite. Like even now, if somebody is a very good kirtan singer or a very good mridanga player, they are in demand. People call them all over. So Arjuna was being called. And then Bhima felt left out. So Bhima thought, let me also like to learn playing instrument. But thing is that he has so much power, instruments would break. And when he tried to sing, not everyone is gifted with every talent. So Bhima was not given the gift of singing. But still he was very determined to learn singing. I remember long back when I was a student at IIT Bombay, after my first semester, I thought I will learn playing kartal. So in my vacation time, I took a pair of kartal to my home. That time my parents were not fully devotees yet. And whole day I was trying to play this kartal and trying to learn. And they just tolerated. Isko kya ho gaya? We sent him to learn physics and he's here trying to learn music. So everybody was tolerating Bhima. One day, Bhima was told, no, if you go to a silent room, a soundproof room and practice. In our temple also, we have created one special room for all the Kirtan enthusiasts, but amateurs, those who are not perfect. So they go there and bang their kartal, harmonium. So Bhima went, those times there were no soundproof rooms. So Bhima went to a secluded place and was trying to learn singing. As he was learning singing, he thought he was doing good. Sometimes you see people that keep earphones in their ears and they're kind of singing as Madhavu is singing or some say Shreya Ghoshal is singing, and they think they're singing like them because we only get to know what we hear because we are hearing Shreya Ghoshal or say no or Gauravani Prabhu. You may think I'm singing like him. So Bhima was thinking I'm doing good, especially he saw a lot of hustle bustle around him. And then when he opened his eyes, he saw one man standing there. He thought at least one person is attracted to my singing. He asked him, so you like my singing? So no, I'm looking for my donkey. So when I heard your voice, I thought my donkey is here. So Bhima felt so disappointed that he said, मेरे से नहीं होगा singing. He gave up singing. But then he started to think, what else happens in festivals? Just a lot of people get attracted to singing, dancing. But then he remembered another important aspect of festival is feasting. And he was a very good cook. And why when Prabhupada mentions who can become a very good cook? One who loves to eat. One who loves to eat will know how to cook. Long back in our ashram, we had the head cook of our temple who was a brahmachari. Now he's in Vrindavan. He used to serve in Indian Navy. Very strict, very austere. So when he was made the kitchen in charge, we all had a tough time because he started to make all austere things. Very bland, nobody what you should will get sick and nothing. Then one of our leaders, Govinda Prabhu. So when all this menu was made and we were having tough time. So then he said, when you were young, you ate all those. Now that you are old, you are imposing the kind of thing on these young poor brahmacharis. Feed them nicely. When they come to your age, they naturally follow all these diets. So like that he kind of save. Many times, we kind of think my way should be the one that is applicable for all. So Bhima, he got this idea that let me go and help in festival cooking. And Bhima being a very good cook, when he started to when people tasted his items, I'm sure even in your Washington area, there will be some Matajis or devotees who are known for their one item. Like in Detroit, there was a proper disciple who used to make the best cinnamon rolls. And the best cinnamon roll I ever had was in Detroit. So Bhima's cooking was the most famous. and he was started to get now more invitations than Arjuna. Because if you are given an option, what do you want in a festival? Good music or good food? What do you select? Good food. Prasad should be excellent. Music तो आता है जाता है, ये प्रसाद रहता है. It stays. So festivals are naturally very joyous, especially everyone looks forward to the feast and different types of, in fact, sometimes in India, every festival means a different type of feast. If it is Diwali, these are the items that is to be made. Before coming to Iskcon, that was the definition of festival for me. Dashara means at home, these things, I'm from Hyderabad, so these things will be made. Sankranti means these particular things will be made. And festival is definitely a celebration. But more than a celebration, festival is a time for deliberation. That what is this, the lesson that I am deriving from this beautiful episode in the Shastras, which I am celebrating. And if you don't deliberate, and as we deliberate, then we can calibrate our own direction in life. Am I truly living by the spirit of the festival that is I am celebrating? Like Dashara. Dashara is a fight, the 10 days of fighting between Ram and Ravan. Those days were nice when fights were very visible and quick and short. Now, fights are never ending at a global level and at the domestic level, घर में भी झगड़े चली रहे. But Mahabharat war, 18 days, the result came. In Ramayana, the Yuddha, in 10 days, there was the result. And the fight between two kinds of attitude, two kinds of mindsets that are there constantly, even between us. The meaning of Ravana. Anyone knows what does Ravana mean? One with 10 heads. That is the Shana. Ravana. Yes?
One who makes you cry.
One who makes you cry. Thank you. Ravana means one who makes others cry. And what does Ram mean? Ram means one who makes others happy. The entire disposition of Ram is that I may go through hardships, but if the other person is happy, then I'm willing to go through all types of hardships. He never wanted to inconvenience others. And that's what Ramante, the one who is a source of happiness and one who is making others happy. It said that Ram had three qualities to his speech. The first quality of his speech was that he was Purvabhashi. Purvabhashi means someone who will speak, who will initiate the talk, who will be the first one to greet. And sometimes we go to someone, both are hesitating. इससे बात करें कि नहीं? Or if he talks, I will talk. Why should I talk? But Ram was always the first person to take the initiative to go and greet the person, talk, make that person comfortable. Because the moment we see a devotee, a person, it's very crucial that we initiate the talk. Say, imagine someone comes. Of course, if in a program everybody is kind of looking at the speaker, then it's fine if nobody greets you. But in a temple or in a home, the moment someone comes and everyone is looking at him, no one is greeting them, they feel very awkward. And in a temple or in a home where there is such warmth, in fact, the definition that Prabhupada gives of a grihastha, ideal grihastha is one who, even if an enemy comes to their home, he will treat him, talk to him so sweetly, as if he is a very close friend, not expressing any kind of animosity. So Ram was Purvabashi, one who was the first to greet others and inquire about others' welfare, not obsessed with himself. Another was that he was Hitabashi, one who always spoke for the welfare of others. No, with a concern for others' welfare, he used to speak. Sometimes people speak just to demean us, bully us, belittle us or show themselves. They speak, but they speak so much about themselves. I went here, or I was doing this, or this is what I am doing. Just boasting about, talking about themselves. But Ram is known as Hitabashi, somebody who is genuinely concerned about others, and for their welfare, he is speaking to them. And third is Mitabhashi, one who speaks succinctly. Sometimes we fear touching someone, because if you talk to them, they will not leave you for 1 hour. बोलते रहते, and you start to wonder, अगली बार ये गलती नहीं करूँगा. Next time I will not touch this guy or this Mataji. Too talking. And there are, in cricket, the people play overs, like they bowl. Say humans get out or get bowled in 4 overs. If you play these 4 overs, you will get out. Overthinking, overeating, overacting, and over talking. What are the 4 overs? Overthinking, overeating, overacting, and over talking. Any of you been victims of these 4 overs? All 4. So Ram is Mitabhashi. That he inquires, but very precise, concise, not taking too much of anyone's time. And because of these 3 qualities, people love to be around Ram and under his shelter. One who only wanted others to become happy. And contrast to that is Ravana, who said, doesn't matter what happens to others. I should be happy even if others cry. In fact, if I can make others cry, I'll be more happy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this as para dukha sukhi. Para dukha sukhi. But whereas Ram is para sukha sukhi, para dukha dukhi. But in conditioned state, in the state of Ravana consciousness, which we all carry, it's not that Ravan is dead or is grave. There are some documents that says Ravan is still alive in a tomb in Sri Lanka, and he'll come out. He's waiting for one of you to go there. And the moment you go, he'll come out to grab you. Ravana is very much inside. So one who Ravana is para dukha sukhi and para sukha dukhi. If someone else is happy, like Duryodhana had sent the Pandavas to the forest, but then he heard they are not suffering there, they are having nice time. Hearing that they are having nice time, he became miserable. Once a divorced husband used to call his wife, who is now divorced, every day and talk to her. So one day she got irritated. Why are you calling me up every day and talking? And he said, when I talk to you, I become very happy what I have given up. And इससे छुटकारा मिला. So when I just talk to you, I get reminded of all the horrific things, and then I feel nice now that it is not there. So Ravana represents that not being happy at others, no pleasure. And we carry these states, and only Lord Ram can really remove these states. And for us to invite Lord Ram, we have to actively try to remove these tendencies from our heart. That's when true Dashara is celebrated. Hindi we have a saying, राम अभी भी वन में है. राम अभी भी वन में है क्योंकि रावण अभी भी मन में है. राम अभी भी वन में है क्योंकि रावण अभी भी मन में है. Sorry, I'll translate. That Ram is still in the forest, one, because Ravan is still in our heart. And these tendencies are not making our heart a welcoming place to have Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, situate in our hearts. And this festival is definitely a festival of celebration. In South, it's a 10 days holiday in the South. In India, it's 10 days of holidays. Both Navaratri and Dashara celebrated together. Mostly it is Dashara, exclusively focusing on killing of Ravan. And in the North, Diwali is more prominent. Diwali festival is more prominent. I always used to have this, that why in North Diwali is more famous, and whereas in South, Dashara is more famous. To the extent that schools' holidays are also different in North and South. And then, it came to me that the event of Dashara happened in South. And the event of Diwali happened in the North. So when Ram killed Ravana, it happened in the South, and the devotees there celebrate. And they also got association of Lord Ram as he was passing by. Because as you know, when Ram was going back after killing Ravana, Sita Devi, he said, first of all, Ram said, let all the monkeys come to Ayodhya. I'll take them on a chartered flight. Pushpa Viman. And as they sat and as they were going, Sita Devi said, why only men should come? All their wives have done greater sacrifice by letting their wives go, husbands go to fight. So I want all the Matajis, all their wives and children should also come. So, first, even in Ramayana, there is equality, gender equality. Both.
It was always there in Sanatana Dharma.
In Sanatana Dharma.
In Western, it is a concept.
Yes.
But Sanatana Dharma, we respect.
Yeah. Sita is showing that why only they should come? They should also come. And then everybody goes. So there is so Lord Ram, so the event of Dashara happened. And as they were going to Ayodhya, and this is a very, very wonderful visualization that devotee gave, that why did the Ayodhya Vasis light the lamps? One is to welcome the Lord, because for 14 years, nobody lit a lamp in their houses. क्योंकि हमारा सही जो दीपक है वो है राम. And if he is not there, what is the use? Another is that only the city of Ayodhya was lighting the lamps. And it said all other villages around Ayodhya, they didn't lit the lamps. And the reason was that the flight should not get confused where is the runway, where to land. And those deepaks were like the runway. When you take a flight, no, the welcoming is done by these small little lights on the runway. Then they know where to land. So the first runway or the whole thing was in Ayodhya. Beautiful story. And but Lord Ram will only come when we truly tackle. And Ravana, he represents, of course, his 10 heads are there. He's called as like Aradhya was saying. Ravana had 10 heads, and so many stories about Ravana. He had almost like 14 curses on him. 14 people cursed him in different occasions. That itself will take a class. And all his life he is just accumulating curses from people, because जब किसी का दिल दुखाते हैं तो क्या निकलता है उनके दिल से? श्राप निकलता है, बद्दुआ निकलता है. That when we hurt someone, then they don't need to have powers and take water and put a curse. That sadness is itself a curse. So in this way, beneath that cursed Ravana, and these two also represent 10 heads, represent different qualities. But prominently, Ravana represents 4 kinds of tendencies that we all carry, and it is only by the blessings of Lord Ram we can overcome this. And also I thought I'll just give you a synopsis of what happened on these 10 days. So which one you want first? The 4 tendencies that Ravana represents, or the 10 days of synopsis?
10 days.
4, 10.
10.
First. So let's, and then we'll come to the 4. the first day, day 1, this is described in the Yuddha Kanda of Ramayana. And we are, if you see, time wise, we are around 2 weeks before Dashara. So this around this time, the bridge of Lanka was being made. And the first day of the war, how does it start? It starts with blowing of the conch, announcing that now we are going to fight. Naturally, before that, there were a lot of peace proposals that Lord Ram sent, but none of them were accepted. And Ravana doesn't come to fight on the first day. He sends his son Indrajit. And Indrajit, he is a mystical and supernatural skills he has in fighting. So he's using all his illusory schemes, and he wounds many of the Vanaras, many in fact die. But Ram, he removes all these illusions created by Indrajit, and then Indrajit understands that my tricks will not work too much, so he vanishes. He resumes the fight, he goes. And then he does yagya to acquire more powers. Second day, Indrajit doesn't come, Ravana comes to fight. And Ram and Ravana face off. And Ravana is so badly injured that Ram tells him, I still give you a chance. अभी भी सबक सीखा है तो सुधर जाओ. You have learned your lesson, then you just all I requesting is give back Sita Devi. But he goes, but he doesn't reform. And the third day, Indrajit returns with the previous. So his battery was discharged on the first day. Second day, he fully charged himself, again doing all the yagya. And he comes and he is more vicious on third day. And he is he uses this Nagapash, the weapon of the serpent weapon, snake weapon. And that binds Ram and Lakshman and they are unconscious. And that time Garuda comes. Garuda comes to remove the Nagapash on Ram and Lakshman. And then he revives. Garuda revives. And then the news, so that happens on day 3. So Ravana got totally humbled. And Indrajit, his powers, first day they failed. They did some, but Ram's powers were more powerful, so he couldn't. So third day, even with extra loaded, he did something, but then at the end of the day, so then they decided we need to take up the giant. Who is the giant? Kumbhakarna. One who has big ears. Kumbhakarna. But although big ears, but so sound asleep, but no alarm can work for him. His alarm is nose. That they had to bring his favorite delicacies. And by that smell, he woke up. Usually we need alarm for the ears. I don't think anybody has even tried to wake up somebody to bring, no, I made you your favorite, please wake up. Which mothers do sometimes. So, Kumbhakarna, and it was a task to wake up Kumbhakarna. Because Kumbhakarna, he was praying to Brahmaji for eternal life. And as he was uttering his request for eternal life, Nityatvam, Saraswati Devi entered his tongue and he uttered Nidratvam. And Brahmaji said, Tathastu. And then, for one semester, totally asleep. Wake up in the break, eat, and next semester again asleep. So only for waking up, for eating, used to wake up. And that Kumbhakarna, when he was woken up, then he was very furious. First he ate, and then he asked. And when his first response was, Ravana, you made a blunder. Why did you know? For such a small thing. Because when we are not infatuated, then we can't understand why that person is so infatuated by that object, by that person, by that thing. And Krishna also in the Gita he explains, Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pachayati. And this whole sequence, this one as Adharma explains that this is how the mind works, how we start to fall down. There is a nice little shairi on this. That once the eyes were having a dialogue with the heart. This is in Hindi, and again translated in English. आंखों से कहा दिल ने इतना देखो मत देखते हो तुम तड़पते हैं हम आंखों ने दिल से कहा इतना देखो मत देखते हो तुम तड़पते हैं हम फिर दिल ने कहा आंखों ने कहा दिल से इतना चाहो मत चाहते हो तुम रोते हैं हम So the eyes are saying, no, the heart is saying, don't see at objects. Because how does attachment develop? When you see again and again and again and again, then you start to develop a desire. Like for children, no? If children go to the school and they see their friend is having a most latest watch on their hands, Apple Watch Ultra 3. And then they start to see and then come and tell Mama, my friend is now wearing this or that. And if more people start to wear, then the more we start to feel left out. Therefore, they say human people have two tendencies, very opposing. One is to have that everyone has in your circle. If someone has something, if many people have something, and if you don't have, you feel very like left out. Oh, I don't have. So one drive, human drive is to have that what everyone has. In computer we have drives, right? C drive, D drive. So our heart has two drives. I call it N drive and S drive. We feel normal when we have what everyone has. And if one thing is not there, that your friend circle has. All your friends have Tesla. And only you don't have Tesla. And in the school they ask. So she doesn't have Tesla. Everyone will make fun of that girl. So for her to feel normal, acceptance, sorry if I am kind of cornering this girl, but just to give you an example. So everyone feels I am left out because everybody is there, I am not there. And contrast to that is to have something that no one has. So first is to have that everyone has. Then you will get acceptance. But after acceptance also you're not happy because you're not getting that special look, that special status in that circle. Then you want something that no one has. I should be the first one in my group that gets the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The orange color. Orange represents renunciation. Or orange represents BJP. So when you have something that no one has, then you become the talk of the town, right? Oh, he's the first one in our family to get a green card or go there. And in these two drives, we are lost because you want to be special in the group, and once you are special, then you think actually don't belong to this group. Nobody in this group has what I have. Then you try to go to a group where that is there. Say you are living in a 1 BHK, then you go to 2 BHK. Then these two, we are trapped in these two drives. So Kumbhakarna, he blasted Ravana that you have done a blunder. You have many wives. Why do you need Sita? And why are you just for sake of this lust? No, you have this deep attachment. Why are you? But once a person becomes addicted to something, obsessed with something, intelligence doesn't work to convince that person. They're telling you, mat kar, but they don't listen. So Ravana was blasted, but Ravana was deaf ears, and he still chooses to support. तू मेरा भाई है ना, तू जहाँ पे भी जाएगा मैं तेरे साथ. The kind of blind loyalty to Ravana, and he, although initially he says this is not a fair fight, he goes and then he starts to he doesn't even need to fight. His way of fighting is just stomping. Wherever Manaras were there, just stomp them to death. And all these arrows and all this were like acupuncture for him, giving nice pleasure. And then, Ram, he kills him by cutting his head, legs. This is one of our acharyas says that once one monkey during this war came back and he was kind of telling all the others what all I did today. So it said, I cut today 100 legs, I cut 100 arms. So one friend asked, how many heads did you cut? He said, no heads I cut because already heads were cut off. So already मरे हुए थे वो जाके करके कुछ he was taking credit. So this was day 4. Kumbhakarna is no more existing. And day 5, Ravana sends his other children because Indrajit is again now more vigorously trying to become more powerful. So one of Indrajit, Ravana's son's name is Atikaya, means heavily built. And Atikaya he is killed by Lakshmana. And then day 6, Indrajit comes, fierce, again fighting. And this time, along with his fears, illusions with which he was trying to attack, one illusion he creates is he brings Sita Devi in front of all the Vanaras, in front of Ram Lakshman. And then, as Ram Lakshman are seeing, he chops off Sita Devi's head and he goes. And Ram, is totally demoralized. Sita Devi is killed. Of course, he is Supreme Lord, but in this affection, and Hanumanji convinces this is only trick, this is not true Sita. Sita Devi cannot be touched, even by Ravana. What to speak of is this person, Indrajit. So he was trying to demoralize and see. And this also said that Mandodari once asked Ravana, you changed form into this sadhu to kidnap Sita. So why you have this powers to change your form? So why don't you change your form to Ram? Then Sita Devi will not stop you. You can enjoy with her, and then then the game is done. Then Mandodari is told by Ravana, I thought of that idea to become Ram, so I can enjoy with Sita. Because Ravana's curse was he cannot forcefully impose himself on anyone. The what is her name? Vedavati had cursed him. Many curses. Ramba's curse, Vedavati's curse, his father, his brother, many curses. So Ravana explained that if I have to become someone, then I have to meditate on that form. Yam yam vapis varan bhavam tejan tante kalevara. Whatever form you meditate, that kind of life species you take. One of our devotees, Sudama Prabhu, he says this yam yam vapis varan bhavam. So in India there is one ice cream brand called as yummy ice cream. And even we say yummy, it's yummy. So he finally says, whatever is your yummy, that becomes your mummy. Means if you are thinking about some particular lifestyle, say tea or a speech, a particular lifestyle, but they're attracted to that kind of, the Prabhupada said, those who are constantly surfing in the ocean, most probably next life they'll become fishes because that's what is their passion. So whatever is your yummy, that becomes your mummy. That means you take birth in that form. So Ravana said, if I am meditating on Ram, then I can assume that form. But the problem is that I need to be in that meditation as long as I need to take that form. But when I am in that meditation of Ram, then I am no more able to see Sita as an object of enjoyment. Sita looks like mother to me. So my tendency to enjoy is vanishing because of my meditation on Ram. And Prabhupada always said this. We cannot remove lust like that. Only when we love Krishna, then lust vanishes. We cannot say no to Maya. We have to say yes to Krishna. When we focus on Krishna, naturally, Maya is sidelined. So Ravana could not assume because his purpose was not solved. So Hanuman, he assures everyone this is only trick. So he boosts the morale of Ram and Lakshman and everyone. And next day, Indrajit is performing another. He again becomes more powerful and he comes to fight. And Indrajit had a boon that you can only be killed by somebody who has controlled his senses so well that for 14 years he has not slept, which is Lakshman. So Lakshman fights with Indrajit. And this secret, who told? Vibhishana tells. Because अंदर की बात अंदर वाले को ही पता रहता है. So Vibhishana tells that this is the boon he has. So this was a fight between Indrajit and Jitendra. But Indrajit means one who has conquered Indra, and one who has conquered Indra can only be conquered by someone who has conquered his senses. Jitendriya. So if you are Jitendriya, even Indrajit can be conquered. If you control your senses and mind, then the whole world cannot disturb you, cannot overpower you. Else, na tripyat ajitendriya. Hiranyakashipu was Swarat was the king of the entire planet, of all the universe. But still he was not satisfied because he has not learned to control his own mind. Krishna also says in the Gita, Sashantim apnoti na kama kami. Who achieves peace? Not someone who is running after fulfilling his desires, but someone who controls his desires, doubts his desires in the perfect order. So Lakshmana on day 7, he kills Indrajit with a Brahmastra. And on day 8, now Indrajit is killed, Atikaya is killed, Kumbhakarna is killed. So his brother, his two most powerful children, and already initially when Hanumanji came, his another son, whose name is, anyone knows? Akshay. So he was killed. So now 3 children and 1 brother is killed. But no remorse, only more anger, enraged. He comes to fight. And again he is severely wounded on day 8. Again he goes. On day 9, Lakshmana fights with Ravana, and that day everybody was made unconscious by the Sammohanastra, by the Shakti weapon. And on day 9, it was the day when Hanumanji jumps to Himalayas and gets the Sanjeevani. Anybody been to Sri Lanka here? Been to the mountain, Sanjeevani mountain? So even botanically, there's one Ashoka Vatika.
Yeah.
So very close to that is a mountain. The whole tree life there, all the species are only found on that mountain and nowhere in Sri Lanka. And that particular, the whole structure, its material, its mud, everything is exact same as the Himalayas. So even botanically they agree, and by what do you call the study of the earth, the soil experts, they say only somehow mystically this one resembles the Himalayas and not all the other, the whole structure and all the species. So very clear proof that Hanumanji had actually brought the Sanjeevani Parvat to, and even today we celebrate Hanumanji. The most famous picture of Hanumanji is lifting that mountain and bringing. But that was powered by his desire to serve Ram. And it was with desire to serve Ram, he acquired all the powers. not to impress some, opposite sex or something, to be known as the best. So he revives on day 9 and on day 10. So 2 or 3 times Ravana and Ram fight, but doesn't happen that Vibhishana he shares a secret that Ravana is his source of his strength is in his tummy. There is a pot of nectar. Some say in his heart, some say in his udar. And he should attack there. Because every time Ravana's head was being removed, another head was coming up. And this is, Krishna also says in the 15th chapter, Narupam Syeha, that this Ahankar, it takes many faces. The ego can take many faces. In spiritual circles, ego takes the face of I am the most humble, or I am no. So ego, in the name of humility, also it can fool us. So ego has many forms, many faces. Primarily these 10 heads of Ravana represent ego, ahankara, and ahimsa, cruelty, anyaya, injustice, kama, lust, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, mada, pride, matsara, jealousy, moha, attachment, swatha, selfishness. And each of these have stories. Long back in Chowpati, I gave just a talk of these 10 heads of Ravana and how in Ravana's life all these are representing. And on day 10, finally, remembering this Aditya Hridaya mantra that Agastya Muni gives to Ram, he shoots the arrow not on the head but in the heart or the stomach. And once the nectar is taken, evaporated by this intense heat, Aditya Hriday, then Ravana falls dead. And that time there is the Vijayotsava or the Vijaya Dashami, which is called Dashahara, the day these 10 heads were killed or removed. And Ravana, as I said, he primarily represents 4 qualities. One is hypocrisy. He was not a sadhu, but he came in the form of sadhu. People appear to be very saintly, very holy, but by their intentions are often evil. So this hypocrisy that is the first symptom of Ravana mindset, and we should be careful not to be hypocritical because God, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is known as Patita Pavan and not Kapata Pavan. If you are Kapati, then Maya Jagati. Maya catches. So that is hypocritical. Second is ignorant, that he is not willing to understand and know about the Lord. Although he is so learnt in the Vedas, another meaning of 10 heads, which is the 4 Vedas and the 6 Ityas,
Puranas.
Samhitas. The 6 Samhitas that are there, different, they represent the 10. So very learnt, but he was not aware that it is all this knowledge is meant for Krishna, for Vedaisa Sarve Ahameva Vedyo. That there are so many scholars who know a lot, but they don't know Krishna. They are not aware that everything is to offer to Krishna. So such a kind of knowledge is also Useless. So hypocritical, ignorant, and L stands for lusty. That whatever he wanted, he was like universal shoplifter. Wherever he saw something, ये मुझे चाहिए. He saw with his brother Kubera this Pushpa Viman, I want mine. He saw with his father Vishashrava. Vishashrava was a great rishi. He went to perform yajna for Lord Shiva. And after the housewarming ceremony of Lord Shiva, so Lord Shiva gave the house only as dakshina to Vishashrava. The golden city was made by Lord Shiva for his wife. And he had home warming. And the home warming he gave dakshina to the pujari who came. The house only. That is Shivaji's detachment. So he accepted and it was in Himalayas on the Gandhamadhan mountain. And when he came from his father, he took his house. ये घर तुम क्या करोगे मेरे को दे दो. You stay in the hut. So and if you saw any girl in the Rishi Kanya from the sages, Deva Kanya from the Devatas, or Raja Kanya, anyone that he found attractive, I want. And finally his eyes fell on Sita and he wanted. So one devotee was saying that Ravana, he had 10 heads. 10 heads means 20 eyes. Right? So with 20 eyes, he lusted after one lady, Sita, and he was destroyed. And now, each of us have only 2 eyes. And with 2 eyes, we are lusting on so many things. Is Ravana more vicious or we are more vicious? I want this also, I want that also. So, lust. And this lust, primarily, the more you overthink on something, it becomes an obsession. So we should be careful that what is our primary focus. And advertisements also do this. Advertisement ensure that advertisement doesn't only come once. Again and again, same advertisement keep coming, keep hitting you. So that as you see more and more, somewhere or other, I want this. That desire comes. So Ravana didn't even see Sita. He only heard about Sita from Surpanaka. So देख के भी इच्छा नहीं, सुन के इच्छा आ गई रावण को. So lust. And the most ugly quality which we need to remove what the Ravana had was he was obstinate. Very obstinate. Mandodari told him, Vibhishana told him, Kumbhakarna told him, his father told him, his another brother, Mahi Ravana, he told him. You know the story of Mahi Ravana? So for war you need funds. So funds were getting over. So he said he went to his cousin brother, Mahi Ravana, to get funds. And his cousin brother, he took him to a golden mountain, huge mountain. Said, this is there, you take. Whatever you want, you take, or you take the whole thing. And he had lifted Kailash before, so he was trying to lift. मैं तो कैलाश उठाया हूँ, ये क्या है? He was trying to lift this mountain. Was so heavy, he was not able to lift. And then Mahi Ravan came and told him, you know what is this mountain? This mountain is the earring of Hiranyakashipu. This mountain is the earring of Hiranyakashipu, which fell during the fighting of Lord Narasimhadev and Hiranyakashipu in the Patal Loka. And to whom you are fighting with, that Ram is the same Narasimha who lifted Hiranyakashipu with his earrings. And not just one earring, he had 2 earrings. So double the weight. He lifted him, and imagine what other armory will weigh, because they had disturbed all the gold in the world. Usually someone nowadays, somebody is wearing huge gold. So they and that was their size. So Bhairavan told, why chhod de? Why? You are not able to lift the earring of the person who was killed by Ram and Hiranyakashipu, whom you are trying to face now. It's no chance, but so obstinate that I always say there are a category of people, devotees, who are called as HNS disciples. HNS means हम नहीं सुधरेंगे. So we all have our, like my name is Braj Mohan.RNS@gmail. RNS means Radhanath Swami. But most have that dot HNS. Even I have HNS. हम नहीं सुधरेंगे. कुछ भी बोलो, कितना भी करो. So Ravana represents that. So if we remove our obstinacy and become open to receive the grace of Lord Ram and truly understand what is the purpose of life, is to offer whatever we have back to him. Because Bhagavan कुछ भी अपने साथ रखते नहीं है. Everything he gives back to his devotees. Everything that he is doing is for the pleasure of his devotees. So therefore we celebrate this festival of Dashara to calibrate, to deliberate, so that we can liberate. So celebration is for liberation. But before liberation, there is deliberation and calibration. So hope you got some insights into this festival of Dashara that is upcoming. And of course, Ramayana is so sweet, so beautiful. You can go on for weeks together. But I got little chance to share about importance of festival Dashara. And I added in some, wisdom points and some jokes. So hope you accept it in the right spirit. I had no intention of demeaning anyone. So Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Ram Lakshmana ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Please pray for everyone who teach.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you for wonderful lecture.
Questions. Prabhuji, so this, I have one question. The 10 heads of Ravana were cut on the last day itself, right?
Yes, yes.
Not one head per day or anything.
No, not like that. Because the last day was first attacking his head, but again and again the heads are moving up. So it's like sometimes we have this like virus filled websites. The more you close, the more windows pop up. So material life is like that. With our own powers, if we try to control something, it becomes even more fierce.
Maharaj, you mentioned three qualities of Bhagwan Ram's speech, Purva Bhashi, Hita Bhashi, Mita Bhashi. What is the Mita Bhashi? Can you please repeat that one?
Speaking in short.
Speaking.
Mita means little. Mita book means one who reads little. Mita Bhashi means आपको आधा घंटा को नहीं बोलेंगे. Short and sweet, as they say. So, he takes initiative to talk, to greet someone. He's very sweet and seeks for the welfare, and also keeps it short.
And Maharaj, what happened on eighth day? Sorry, I missed that one.
Eighth day.
Yeah, I was able to capture everything.
Eighth day, both fight. Ravana is very angry, and because his son, his brother, everybody is killed. So he comes to fight, but again Ravana becomes very severely wounded and he goes back. And so even on day 8, Lord Ram gives him a warning and he sends him to the job. So anybody who says, Ram is brutal, no, he is giving chance again and again till the last day.
And Maharaji, I have humble request. Actually, during Ramayana time, there were Vanaras. According to Sanskrit, Nar means human. So they were very looking like a Nar. So in Sanskrit we call Narava. So it became Vanara. It's not monkey. And why I'm requesting this, because many people call Hanumanji as monkey, which is, I feel it is insult to Hanumanji. So it is a Vanara. There were no monkeys. So we should say that time the species existed, which was very close to human, but they had a tail and some hair, but they are not at all monkeys.
Okay, we accept it. Respect towards Hanumanji.
Yes.
Any other?
Krishna Prabhu. Ravan, who was so educated, who knew everything, who had the counsel of everybody, but he still was obstinate and he couldn't, I would say, see the path. So, what does it mean for someone like us, right, who don't have that knowledge, who don't even have the counsel? So, how do we make sure that we don't make the same mistakes or follow the same path around?
Very good question. And that's why the scriptures are there to show its scriptures are also called as darshan shastra because they kind of mirror our inner struggle, our inner and kind of warn us. If you go on this path, if you're obstinate and myopic, just fixated on something, obsessed and not willing to take wise counsel, then they are going to destruction. So being aware and just being open and behaving and acting in such a way that we actually are open to get corrected. Not that one of the reasons why Hitler couldn't actually conquer and because he couldn't hear a negative remark about him or a bad news about what is happening. Anybody who brought a bad news used to kill them. So nobody was coming to him with a bad news. उसके पास कौन जाएगा बताने के लिए? So if someone comes to us, trying to tell us something, they are in fact our critics are our best friends. So they are trying to improve us. Yes, that doesn't mean we become very critical, but so if you are able to accept criticism in the right spirit, then we'll improve. So which is a tough thing because everyone thinks what I'm doing is right. So it is going in the path of Ravana. So just being aware from the scriptures and checking with devotees that what do you feel, what is my behavior. We used to have in ashram this one exercise with those whom we knew, like 10 of us, once a year we sit and we have a book in which everyone else other write about you. One good quality, one bad quality, or one improvement that we can do. And when we did this exercise, some of our brahmacharis became so surprised. अरे ये सब है क्या मेरे में? Because human limitations and one's own bad smell, one cannot smell. If you have mouth is bad, if you have bad mouth, you can't smell it. The next guy only can smell it. So that's why we need a community who will help us. And we should be willing, to have that dare to know about ourselves and cannot be true. Hare Krishna.
Just on that note, I wanted to share, Her Grace Kunti Mataji used to share that His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami used to do this exercise with
Oh,
all of his disciples. That he used to ask them to give, like everybody had to have a pen and a paper, and then go around the room and ask people, like what should I work on. And people used to tell. So that was really very like
yeah,
busting the false ego.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's very difficult to listen.
Yeah.
She used to say the people used to be very animated, like, oh yeah, you need to work on this, you need to work on this.
But it's very hard to say also.
Yeah.
It's very hard to say.
Yeah, it is.
It's very hard to say.
That's why these exercises can be done in a circle that has trust and some affection. If you can open it up, then you will be so wounded that you can't get up. Ensure people will write something good about people, and then ask for something. And you get so much negativity because if you speak something positive about someone, you have to think. But speak negative, free flow, easily comes out. And same happens as the reverse. खुद के बारे में बुराई नहीं दिखती. We think we are. So that's Ravana's mindset. Hare Krishna very much. Thank you. And this book has these insights into the Gita. This is a COVID product during COVID time. How we can present Gita in a simpler way, especially without Sanskrit and technical kind of limitations. And each chapter is a visualization. Second chapter is like a theater experience. Third chapter is a stock exchange. So because we are familiar with these places, so the Gita we can start to understand in that visualization. So that has been attempted. So if you are kind of having tough time to understand Gita, of course, Prabhupada's Gita is based on it, but just a more English, reading version of it for each chapter. So have some copies. If you are interested, please do you can share with you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, one request. We have few devotees who joined online on the Zoom call. So I just request them if they have any questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you can speak. Any question, please go ahead.
No questions, Prabhuji, but thank you so much for hosting Brajamohan Prabhu. And thank you so much to Brajamohan Prabhuji for a wonderful talk and meditation for Dashera. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
So that fourth thing that I said, it forms acronym called as HILO. Hypocritical, ignorant, lusty, and obstinate. So it becomes hilo. Hindi we say hilo. Move. Move from your that obstinate stand. So Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was very nice to hear you. It was really, I can say, one good takeaway, how one can improve, and at the same time, how one can improve self and the others. That is a good message we got from this Ramayana topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to share wisdom? Do you want to share some words of wisdom?
I don't know about wisdom, but
Can you give the mic to him?
let's see.
Hare Krishna.
Beginning, you were talking about Bhim. And just one funny anecdote came to my mind. Because you were describing that he couldn't play any musical instruments, but he could eat really, really well. And him himself was very big and strong. So I immediately just thought of one little vignette. It's not really a story. It was told to me by Damodar Prabhu, who was one of Prabhupada's disciples from 26 Second Avenue the very first summer of 1966. So then, a few years later, Damodar Prabhu came to Washington, D.C., and he opened the temple here. So one day I was sitting with him, and he just told me this little scene, not really a story, but Brahmananda Prabhu was one of Prabhupada's early disciples. Maybe some of you know about Brahmananda.
Yes.
Right? Very famous person.
Yeah.
And he was, one of his qualities is very big and strong, and he liked to eat a lot. So people would compare him to Beam sometimes. In those days, they used to have the Sunday feast in the temple room at 26 Second Avenue in the front room, and Prabhupada was also there during the Sunday feast. In fact, Prabhupada himself would cook the Sunday feast as well. And they put all of the prasadam in big 5-gallon buckets, and each devotee would just take from this big bucket and serve more and more. So Brahmananda used to eat a lot. He was famous for that. So one Sunday feast, Brahmananda was there, Damodar was there, other devotees. Prabhupada was sitting there also. And Brahmananda had eaten so much halwa that now he was lying on his back on the floor next to the halwa bucket. And he was saying, oh, oh. So Prabhupada seeing this, he became a little amused. So he called out Brahmananda. Brahmananda said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, eat more halwa. So it's just a happy little story. You won't find it written anywhere because it's not in English. But Damodar was president, he just told me that.
There's no doubt eating more halwa from. So, thank you. Beautiful story.
Anyone?
Sing the verse. Okay. Yeah, we'll do the rest of the verse. Because we don't want to do before. Right? Yeah, I'll just get the harmony. No, just sing it. Who will play kartals? Who will play madanga?
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Sudah